There we
Good
go.
evening, and welcome to In the Public Interest. My name is Bennie Macklin. You're watching us on WPHY Channel 25 and listening to us on WIMG 1300 AM on the dial and, of course, online at WIMG1300.com. Today, we have an interesting guest. A young man is doing great things in the entertainment world, an entrepreneur in his own ranks, and we're going to talk about how it is in the field of entertainment and also how it is to have his own business and so on. Tonight, I have with us none other than Phillip Steward. Mr. Steward, good evening to
Hey,
you.
nice. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here.
Well, I'm glad to have you here tonight. I always have an opportunity to meet and also interview interesting people of different facets of life. And you have an interesting story in regards to how this all became, how it all started. And I think it's important that our listeners get to hear it from those that are working towards their goals, that not only just working towards their goals, but are doing great things as they move forward in their goals. So let's just start. I guess we can just start from the beginning.
Okay.
Um, you are a New Jersey native.
Yes, I was born in Jersey Shore.
Yes. Now, before we even get that, let me just say welcome to In the Public Interest tonight.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
I wasn't sure if I
Yeah.
did that in my opening monologue. I wanted to make sure we got that covered.
Yeah,
Uh,
definitely.
because it's important when I interview someone that our listeners get to, one, we welcome them into this program. That's one. And two, we get to hear their story as to how they got to where they are to now. So,
Yep.
as I just mentioned, you are a New Jersey native.
Yeah.
Talk about its the origin of you growing up here in New Jersey.
Yeah. Well, I grew up on the Jersey Shore, a city called Neptune. I have a lot, still have some friends out there. I live in Willingboro now, but I grew up in Neptune. And I was a shy kid, nerdy and shy and kind of semi-athletic, not really that athletic. So I was really in my shell until college, but I kind of opened up a little bit in college, and then unfortunately after that, my mom passed away back in 2021, and that's when I really wanted to really grab life, by the horns and really make this my own, because it just introduced a whole idea of life not lasting for infinity, and I just wanted to just go for it. So that's one of the things that kind of turned me into being interested in acting and going for it instead of just saying, oh, it would be nice. I actually went for it, and here we are.
This is interesting because a lot of times we see individuals that have admirations to do things,
Yeah.
but one thing or another sets them back.
Yep.
And this is why I find this segment that we're having today interesting, because obviously maybe it had been because of tragedies, I don't know, but we're going to find out. You have started on a path of acting, but
Hmm.
before you started acting, there was other things that you did.
Yeah.
Let's just go back there as we bring it up into the world of acting. Let's mention the world of entertainment.
Yeah.
Um, Prior to your acting skills, you stated you were in college,
Hmm.
and during that time of college, what was it in college that you decided to go to college for?
I went to school for electrical engineering. My degree is right here on the wall. I graduated from North Carolina A&T State University, Aggie Pride, back in 2000, with a degree in electrical engineering, magna cum laude.
Excuse me. Okay, well, let me straighten my shirt up here. I didn't get magna cum laude. I just got my certificate and kept on moving in my field of business.
Yes, yes.
Um, just glad to make it through the
There we
threshold.
go.
What made you go to NC, North Carolina, um,
Sure.
for your degree? What was it that inspired you to do that?
A lot of my life is revolved around church. So I'm on a Christian radio station right now. So I mean, when I was a kid, we went to a conference in North Carolina for our church, and our church it's called Bible Way. That's where we went, Bible Way Neptune. The church conference was in North Carolina. We were blown away by how everybody was so nice, and like the weather was beautiful. And then my parents, were talking about potentially moving there because we just had a great experience for a whole week. And then my dad got a job transfer. He moved, and then when he moved, my dad plays the organ. So when he moved, there was nobody to play the organ at our church. So I kind of tried to take up the mantle for when he left, and that's when I started playing the organ. And then when we rejoined him in North Carolina, um, that was my senior year in high school, and I was looking for opportunities for college, and my counselor suggested A&T as well as North Carolina State. So I applied to both. I got accepted to both, but A&T gave me some more money, and I kind of was partial to A&T because it's a HBCU, and it was the best decision I ever made. It was so much more fun. It was just tremendous. I have lifelong friendships, and it really let me see Black excellence on display. It was a life-changing experience.
Many individuals don't get to the opportunity of going to an HBCU
Yeah.
school. And personally, I think a lot of African Americans can miss out on the joy. We've heard so many negative stories when it comes to financial situations of these schools, yet there are subsidies that have been given and
Mhm.
are helping these schools strive. And when you sit down and you speak to an individual that have had the opportunity to attend the school as such, it's great to know. Now, um, as we know, there's one individual that attended an HBCU school who is now could very well soon be the president of the United States.
Speak
But
it,
that's
speak it into existence. Let's talk about it.
well, so there's an excellent chance of this individual from all statistics right now
Mhm.
that could be running this country. It just shows what greatness can come out
Yes,
of applying the effort to doing things.
absolutely. Yeah, A&T is amazing. It's an experience just to be there and see. Because coming up in Neptune, it was a pretty diverse neighborhood, so we had all complexions and everything. So I was like I said, I was a nerdy kid, so I was one of many complexions in my AP classes. But when you get to college and you're seeing nothing but or very few other races besides Black, and you just see how excellent everybody does. In my school, I was the only Black kid, or maybe a handful of us were in the AP classes. But at A&T, everybody's smart. Everybody's trying to get good grades. Everybody wants a job. And you see the upperclassmen graduating with high honors, and you hear about the offers they're getting, and they're getting flown out to interviews. And it just makes you think, like, it just opens up your mind that I can do so much more than just, work at a humdrum job. I can actually be an executive, or I can actually be an engineer, or, I can be flown out and treated really special, and they can give me a piece of paper with, 5 digits on it that they want me to come work for them right out of college, and set me up for life. So it's a different, I wish my son could see it. I took him on a tour, so we went there, but he hasn't seen the students. But when you see the students, it really just, it propels you, to the next level.
As I'm sitting here with you, Mr. Stewart, I'm looking at you as someone, as I see, of course, we see just the top portion and
Mhm.
so off, but you have this youthful look to you. You're referring to a son that you're taking to an
Yeah.
HBCU school to try and get him to strive
Mhm.
to attend. And I think it's absolutely beautiful that you are able to speak to that. Do you have the opportunity? Have you ever had the opportunity to mentor to some of these young men, young women, and speak to them about um, the benefits of going to an HBCU school?
Yeah, I shout the benefits all the time. I don't talk about A&T as much as I probably should, but I always represent. If you see my social media, you see I always have their logo on all the time. My sister told me, I'm all A&T'd out because I'm always wearing A&T merchandise and things. But I do try to tout their tenants because they are the people in there. They're all about excellence. They want to see you succeed. They want to hear the positive stories. There's pictures of students all over the campus. What they're doing. A&T's in the national spotlight because Reverend Jesse Jackson went there, Terrence J went there, Taraji P Henson went there. A lot of prominent Black people went there, and they try to really show Ronald McNair. There's a hall named after the astronaut Ronald McNair. So they really try to promote the people who are in our community that are doing great things. Maybe one day they'll put me up there. I'd love to see it. A close colleague of mine was a football professor, a football player, and now he's a CEO, yeah, and he's going to law school. So I mean, you just never know what'll happen. But from those seeds that we planted on the campus, is really brought with a harvest of just tremendous people doing great things. And we even in the national spotlight, we just got an endowment of over a couple $1 million from some anonymous donor. We also got yeah, we're in the national spotlight for the self-driving cars. There's a competition that we're involved with for that. So with other big, power schools. So I mean, Auntie's great. I recommend it to everybody.
Now, my next question to you is this. Obviously, you went to AT&T. You have an engineering degree. Am I correct?
Right. Yes.
You've taken this engineering degree, and now you are switching roles in more ways than one from engineering to the field of entertainment.
Yes.
But yet, there was some things in regards to your entrepreneurial things that you decided to do in your own business and practice. Let's talk about that for a hot second, because I want to speak about that. I also want to speak about family, because when you have an individual, you never know their journey of life.
Right.
And I'm listening to you in regards to how you transitioned from New Jersey down to North Carolina, where I'm very much familiar with North Carolina. I have many family members in North Carolina. That's
Yes.
a lot of it. So I understand that portion, but you journeyed down there, and you attended school and you got your engineering degree, but you did something with it, and which is somewhat different.
That's true. Well, in college, I took a class in coding. So for engineering, we had to take different electives and things. So one of the ones that I took was for coding, and they taught us C++ and Fortran, which are archaic languages at this point. So because I did well in those courses, when it came time to interview, I interviewed with a lot of different companies. I got 3 job offers. One of them was from PricewaterhouseCoopers. It was a great offer, signing bonus and everything. And they wanted me to be a programmer, which travels and does programming projects from time to time. And that's what my position was. I was a software analyst. So I took that job because it was more glamorous. You got to travel and everything. So one of the first things they did was they gave you a crash course in different programming languages. One of them was web design, HTML. So I took the course, the crash course. It was in Tampa, Florida. They had us put us up in a beautiful condo and everything. And they had a competition who can make the best website. So, I'm excited. I'm a competitor. I'm excited. I'm out of my shell now. I'm out of college. I'm much more confident. So I designed this website using the knowledge they gave me. And it was orange and it had my picture in it. And I thought it was great. So then it came time for awards and they called my name. They said, Phillip, come on down. You won an award. And I came up to him and I was smiling and everything. And they said, you won an award for the worst looking website in the class. I was like, what? And my reward, it was like a big trophy looking thing. I turned it around. It was like a toilet brush hidden in the back. So they gave me like a toilet brush as an award, like an ornate looking toilet brush. And I was so embarrassed, but I kind of feel like that was like a subliminal type of egging on for me to really try to take this to the next level. So fast forward, after I started working for them after that course, I just kept working on web design. I don't know what made me want to work on it, but I built my own site. Then I did one for my church, and then I did one for their sister church. And next thing you know, people are calling me for websites, and then I had to come up with a company name. And then, after a while, in 2007, I got enough clients where I could register the company and make it a real thing. And in 2013 is when I actually stopped my full-time job and did website design full-time. So since 2013, I've been here in Mount Laurel in my office where I am right now, doing website design, and that's my bumpy road of inspiration. They said I was bad, and now I'm winning awards. I win best of the best in 2002 and 2022 and 2021 and 2020. Yeah, so 3 years in a row, I won best web designer in Burlington County. So I'm winning.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are with none other than Mr. Phillip Steward, as we are sitting here discussing, I would just call it the journeys of life. I would say, and maybe I'm just giving you the title of your book,
There you go.
but we're here discussing the different variations, what we can go through, and what he has gone through into where he is going into today. Once again, you're listening to us on WIMG 1300 AM and watching us on WPHY Channel 25, as well as WIMG 1300.com online. We thank you for listening with us today. Mr. Stewart, once again, thank you for taking the opportunity to join us here on In the Public Interest.
Yeah, I'm having a great time.
Now, we discussed the web designing. We discussed that, and there's more to come. But one thing we did not discuss, and I'm very big on this portion of conversation, and that is the support of the family that backs us in doing the things that we do. Who was the one or ones that supported you in your strive and where you are today?
Well, my number one supporter was my mom. You know, she cheered me on. I wish she was here. She could see all the stuff I'm doing now, but um, she used to call me $1 million man. You know, she gave each of myself and my two sisters. We all have nicknames, so I'm the $1 million man. And she just always saw something in me. You know, and I wanted to start a business. She was behind me. You know, she sent clients my way. She celebrated with me when I had a win and I got an interview, like something like this. I tell her about it, and she'd be the first one to sign in and look at it. Since she lived in North Carolina and I lived here in Jersey, you know, I visited her all the time, you know, as much as I could, especially once I became an entrepreneur. I went down as often as I could, grab my laptop, and I could work remotely. So yeah, she was the best, the very best, and I always was excited to share my news with her. You know, she never burst my bubble. She always, you know, helped to pump it up even more. And you know, because you can really do anything. You know, if you really put your mind to it, they say you can, but it's really true. Like I'm 44 years old, and I changed my hobby into something. I guess we'll get into it later, but I changed my hobby into something that I really enjoy now, the fruits of it. And who would have thought that this shy kid from Neptune, you know, would be doing these kinds of things, you know? So, I mean, you really can do anything. So she really showed me that I shouldn't limit myself, you know, and I don't have to be afraid to try.
You stated something about limiting yourself.
Yeah,
Um, we're going into that now, but let's give our listeners, if they were looking into doing something from a web-based standpoint,
yeah.
and they're looking for a designer such as yourself,
Mhm.
how can they get a hold of you?
You know, thankfully, I've been doing this for a long time. So if you just type in the word anointed advertising in Google, you can't miss me. I'm all over the place with the awards and the accolades, and I'm not boasting. I mean, it's just facts. Yeah, just they're out there. And then you can find me on social media, anointed advertising or anointed ads. You can't miss me. So there, I have a website, I have social media, videos, all kinds of stuff, and you know, I work with WIMG, I work with Karen Rogers, I work with Craig Hayes. He's the one that referred me to you. So a lot of your listeners and a lot of your hosts know who I am. So I love web design. This is my, aside from acting, it is like my favorite thing to do. And I also play the piano. So singing probably be like the top three, maybe playing basketball. So top four things I like to do. And so you can find me that way.
Sports and entertainment. I
Yeah.
don't know about you, but many individuals right now are locked into what you're saying right now. Can't
Yeah.
go wrong with being entertained in the world of music and the world of acting, because we're about to go into that. And of course, sports. You stated you play basketball.
Yeah, yeah. My son's he's 16. You probably won't believe how old I am, but I'm older than I look. But my son's 16, and he tries to keep me young. His name is Max. He tries to keep me young. He beat me last time we played 1-on-1, but we're gonna do it again. He's 1 inch taller than me. I'm 6 foot. He's 6'1", and so he keeps me young, and we play. He's on the team, and I have another friend Anderson I play with, and another friend Marlo that I play with. But they're closer to my age, and we just try to keep each other tight. You know, I got to stay fit. I'm competing with these 25-year-old guys, so I gotta look good as good as possible as I'm out there.
Of course, of course. And skill goes a long way.
Mhm.
So they may have the youth, but skill goes a long way. We'll just leave it at that.
There you go.
So in regards to web designing, you've done this, you have your own business. It is definitely a profession of yours. You have now decided to open up doors in new areas. What what mindset came into the art of acting? Because you are now an actor, I'll say it that way, and you're doing things in this field. What was it that gave you the opportunity to transition? What was the mindset? What brought this all on?
Well, I mean, a lot of people love TV and movies, and I'm one of them. I'm a movie buff. When I see celebrities, I always, oh, that's the guy from such and such. I'm pretty good with names because I'm a salesperson with my business. I always have to try to make people feel comfortable. So I'm pretty good with remembering names and identifying faces. So as we were watching television, I was hanging out with a friend and I was just talking to her and I was just saying, I love movies. I wish I was handsome enough to get into a movie. And she said, why not? And so then I started thinking about it and I said, oh, maybe I should look into it. And this is when I'm 44 years old. And like I said, my mom passed away the year before. And at this point, I'm just like, what do I have to lose? So I went ahead and did some research. I found a role as a restaurant patron and there was a casting call for it. And a young lady named Giovanna Townsend, who is a model and now she's a filmmaker, as among other things, she needed an extra, or a small speaking role for this movie in Philadelphia. And I was so nervous, and I reached out to her, and she had a Zoom call for all the cast, and I'm just like cheesing. I even took a screenshot of that Zoom call just so I could say this is how I started. And it's just a tremendous experience working with her and her team. And I'm making it sound like it's a big thing, but it was a small production, but it was tremendous. Just it really changed my life. And we did that production, and I saw myself on YouTube in this short. You can probably still find it. It was called. I have to find the name of it, but just Google Giovanna Townsend. It's in her list of videos. So I grabbed in that video, and then meeting her and other actors is what helped me to find other resources, and I got bigger and bigger roles, and now I'm doing different things now. But that's what it's all about. Just baby steps. And pushing forward.
What was it what is it that drives you? Let's go there because
Yeah,
from going from a web designer to acting,
yeah,
web designers are mainly behind the scenes. You get to see their works.
right,
Now you're going from behind the scenes to the front of the scene,
right.
and we can see the work in living color. What was it that got you to that level of wanting to do something along in that profession? Because again, this is a definitely change setter in
Yeah.
regards to your lifestyle or profession.
That's true. That's true. I think what drives me is that I was on my first professional set for for the show Power Book Two. So my episode comes out soon. It hasn't come out just yet, but I was on that set and I saw some celebrities. I won't say their names, but I saw some celebrities on the set, and it just changed everything. I'm standing 2 feet away from these people that I've seen over and over and over on these television shows and videos and rap videos and different things like that. And they're speaking to me like I'm just like I'm just a regular guy, and it just reminds you that they're humans. They may be really talented, they may be really popular, they may have a million followers, but they're people, and why can't I be somebody like them? I may not be exactly like them, but why can't I be in the forefront? Why can't I have a line? I don't have to sit in the background. I can actually be a part of this production. And just to see the production and all the people who are working, and when you watch TV, you don't know how much happens behind the scenes. It's unbelievable when you see all the stuff that's happening. And I saw that and I just fell in love with it. And just to see the grips and the camera operators and the makeup people and just so many people running around. And then the actor says, quiet on set, everybody stops. You film the scene and then it goes back to chaos. It's crazy. And then they stitch that into a movie. It's like unbelievable that it's possible once you see how it's made. It's just crazy. So um, I met some nice people, and and they welcome you. You think that they'll be stuck up or snobbish, you know. I met Terry Vaughn. That's the girl from she was on the show Steve Harvey show. She played Cedric the Entertainer's girlfriend with the high voice. So she was a director of a movie that I was in as an extra in. And she was directing me. I was like, oh my gosh, that's Terry. I've seen her on TV. I know who she is. And then she's talking to me and she's like, I'll sit here or go here. And then at the end of the experience, I said, I'm such a big fan. And she's like all humble and everything. I mean, I can go on and on and on with the people that I've met and just, you know, how they just so generous and gracious and they want to see you succeed, you know?
You obviously definitely are talented, no question about it.
Oh,
And I want to say fearless because so many people are talented, but they don't take the opportunity to go out and try to be their best. What is it that drives you to just say, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and do it?
you know, I think I made a big milestone in my life around 2016, I think. Might have been later. I used to be 300 pounds. So I was a big guy back in the day. And one summer I got laid off. Well, we didn't really talk about how I became a web designer, but I have a problem with authority. So I always think I'm smarter than my boss. So that's one of the reasons why I ended up being an entrepreneur because I got laid off 3 times. So since I was laid off this one last time, I was in my garage doing website designs. I still had my company, and I was playing basketball almost every day with my son. And you know, it's the dead of summer, and I lost all this weight. I lost so much weight, and I started really feeling good about myself. Like I was thinner, my clothes fit better. You know, I felt more handsome. You know, I just felt better about myself. This is even before I became an actor. So that feeling of accomplishment and being able to keep the weight off and, you know, still try to eat healthy the best I know how and, you know, feel good about myself. I think that's what drives me to continue to push because I feel like I can do it. You know, I feel like, you know, I've made some goals in my career as an actor and I'm slowly approaching some of them. You know, I have 3 main goals. One is to give a speaking role in a television show. I got a speaking role just this week on a television, not a television show, but a vertical series, which is one of the ones you watch on your phone. I was supposed to be an extra, but that guy who did the line that was in my scene, he did a terrible job. So they went to go to the next guy. They found another guy, and he had like marks on his face, and he wasn't ready. His hair wasn't done. So then they're looking around, and I was like, "I'm here." And they said, "Could you come here?" And then I came up there, and they said, "We need you to say this line." They told me the line, and I'm excited. I'm dressed up and everything. I'm sitting next to these pretty women, and I had to say the line. So I said the line. Hey, you know, I said my line, and they said their line, and I felt like a natural. You know, so that's my first goal. I'm almost there. You know, it airs pretty soon. My second goal is to have a speaking line in a movie that shows on the screen, not just on TV and stuff, but on the actual screen. So I haven't reached that goal yet. And the third goal, I really want to work with Regina King, like
Do that again?
Regina King, the woman from 227. I had a crush on her ever since I was a child. Oh my gosh.
You're not alone in
Um,
that department.
so I don't want to work with her because of the crush, but I want to work with her because she's talented and she's wonderful. I heard that some of her family's from Trenton, New Jersey. So, you know, maybe one day she'll be out here and we'll be able to work together. Um, we're going to do it. It's going to happen. That's my third goal. So, you know,
If you can
so
speak it,
those
you can
goals push
achieve
me.
it. I'll say that. If you can speak it, you can achieve it.
There we go. Yep.
And you obviously spoke a number of things, and the things that you desired to do have been accomplishments, and you're still striving.
Yes.
I wish many people would have this attitude about life and stop and not hesitate. But if you just take a step of faith and go out and make things happen,
Yeah.
you've done that in the midst of tragedy. As you raise your son and you speak to him, what words of encouragement do you give him? Or let's say you were speaking to anyone in general, what
Mhm.
words of encouragement would you give them?
I would say don't be afraid to fail. I've succeeded tremendous, but I've failed a lot as well. You know, as an entrepreneur, I never went to business school, so I don't know how to make a P&L, and I don't know how a profit and loss statement. I don't know how to market properly outside of my experience and what I've researched. So I just kind of went for business. I didn't even, like I said, I was laid off, and I just instead of sitting at home collecting unemployment, I decided to push the business as much as I could and I ended up, doing the business for a while. Then I had to take a job. Then I quit the job, or the job ended, and then I went back to the business. And I did that a couple of times until 2013. So, I mean, even though I'm doing great, I didn't succeed in the beginning all the time. One time as an entrepreneur, I'm thinking I'm great. I have a networking meeting that I used to go to every Wednesday. So I would go every Wednesday to this meeting. It was breakfast meeting for a company called Le Tip in Bordentown, New Jersey. I was the president of the chapter. It was about 16 or so, 20 people. And we met every week and we exchanged leads. So, I mean, I was doing this every week. So I was excited. And I went out one morning to go get in a car to go to my meeting. It's like 6:30 in the morning and my car's not there. And I said, oh, did I park on the street? So then I walk towards the street and I don't see my car. They repossessed my car. I'm thinking I'm a big shot, and my car is literally gone. And it's 6:30 in the morning. I'm sitting there like, oh my God, my car is repossessed. Because I would pay my note, I would pay it late. And I just got used to paying it late. Whenever I got the money, I just here you go, and I would pay. So this time they said they weren't taking it no more. So they just took my car and I had to scramble for like 3 days trying to get money from my father-in-law, from my savings, just so I can get the car at an impound and then pay what I owed and then pay what to get me current. And it was like traumatic. I was like, oh my God, how do people deal with this? But that was a super huge failure that happened. That was in 2016. That was after I started the business. So that was a huge failure that I have. But you know, now I drive a luxury car. Now I'm in movies. Now I have my own office. Everything's different now. But you can fail, but you got to keep going. It's not easy. Nothing is easy, or else everybody would be doing it. Everybody would be in movies. If it was easy. But you got to push. You can't be afraid. You got to try. Um, you got to believe in yourself. It sounds so corny, but it's so true.
You gotta believe in yourself. Mr. Steward, I want to thank you for taking this opportunity to join us here on In the Public Interest.
Yes.
The repossession of a vehicle, I'm all too familiar with that. Thank God I had the money to get it back, but
I'm telling you.
I've been there before, so you
Yes,
just
sir.
made me reminisce. Uh, but uh, but no, other than that, blessings to you. This
Thank you.
has been a joyful interview. I will say that. And not only that, but you've also left or leaving the listeners with words of encouragement.
Yes.
As you strive, you gave many people listening right now an indication that, as you stated, it's okay to fail. Sometimes you got to
Yeah.
embrace that
Hmm.
and believe that you can still make it.
Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have been sitting here with none other than web designer, actor, Mr. Phillip Steward, on this day here on In the Public Interest. Once again to you, Mr. Steward, blessings to you.
Thank you so much.
Continue to strive and pave the way. And I do mean that when I say pave the way, because there's someone that's listening that will be watching and looking to hear that name, Phillip Steward, come across their screen.
Nice. Yeah, definitely. I'm excited to be here. I love WIMG. I listen to you guys. I seen the website. I've been I listen live on sometimes. So I know you have had a lot of influential people come through. So I'm really happy just to be a part of it. And shout out to Professor Hayes and everybody else there, Miss Vina, I've been talking to her over the years. So yeah, I love it.
Well, we appreciate you, definitely. And
Thank
we
you.
got to get you back
Yeah, let's do it.
before you get that main award. We got to get you back here and
Yeah,
with Bennie Macklin, nobody else.
let's do it, man. I'm ready.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for taking the opportunity to listen with us this evening here on WIMG, as well as watching it on WPHY Channel 25, as we had a great conversation with none other than Mr. Phillip Steward on this
Yeah.
night. Blessings to you and your family.
All right, blessings to you.
And to all, may you have a great night.